This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for July 22nd, 2024. Your daily music headlines, industry info, and everything rock. The Smashing Pumpkins announced the release of a surprise album called Agori Mori Me. Set for release on August 2nd, the band's 13th studio album will not release a single ahead of the release. Billy Corgan wrote, produced, and recorded the new album with the band during their touring schedule over the last few years, saying, quote, "In the writing of this album, I became intrigued with the well-worn axiom, you can't go home again, which I have found personally to be true in form, but I thought, well, what if I tried anyway? Not so much in looking backwards with sentimentality, but rather as a means to move forward, to see if the balance of success and failure that are ways of making music circa 1990 to 1996 would still inspire something revelatory." He concluded, "We feel the right way to hear this record was an intact body of work," adding that fans can decide the value of what they've done. In a new interview with Deadline, director Rob Reiner has shared an update on the sequel to Spinal Tap, saying, quote, "It's going good. Our first screening for our family and friends will probably be in August. Then sometime in September, we'll start showing it to distributors, and we're hoping to have it out sometime in late spring or early summer of next year." As previously reported, Lars from Metallica, Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Paul McCartney, Elton John, and Garth Brooks will join the entire original cast for the new film. A 6-part documentary series about the life and times of Prince was described as, quote, "dead in the water" as the fallout of his 2016 death without a will continued. The director, Ezra Edelman, started work in 2018, delivering 9 hours of television instead of the agreed-upon 6. That represented a breach of contract, which invalidated the agreement, leaving it open for renegotiation or cancellation. Representatives for the late artist's estate claimed a first cut of the film was filled with, quote, "dramatic, factual inaccuracies and sensationalized renderings of certain events from his life." Edelman's violation of the agreement presumably enabled the estate to withhold music rights. Although Netflix and Edelman maintained the final cut of the film, a Prince documentary without the music would face daunting, if not insurmountable, creative and commercial obstacles. The Portland, Oregon-based tribute band Nirvana was joined by a very special guest on Thursday night at their show in Vancouver, Washington, original Nirvana bassist Chris Novoselic. The band posting up online, "Get down here to George's Garage and Grill. Show's about to start, and oh yeah, somebody else is here." He joined the band on stage for Blue, Lithium, and Smells Like Teen Spirit. Chris Cornell's widow, Vicky, shared a clip of the late singer covering Tracy Chapman's Fast Car on what would have been his 60th birthday. On July 20th, Vicky Cornell took to Instagram to share a snippet of Cornell covering the 1988 hit, alongside a montage of candid photos of him through the years and a written tribute, saying, quote, "Chris would have turned 60 today. Although everyone that loved him is sad, he's no longer here. It's all about you, the fans who made him, whose love has continued to keep his legacy alive. I'm so grateful to you for that. While I remember him best as the wonderful husband, father, and human being he was, I'd like to celebrate his whole life and everything he gave us. On his 60th, we can all celebrate his genius as an artist who redefined music, but also the incredible man who touched and changed lives." Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee from Rush are each reissuing their debut solo albums, Lifeson's 1996 album, Victor, and Lee's 2000 album, My Favorite Headache. Each will arrive in various formats on August 9th via Rhino Records. Lifeson's Victor will also be released on vinyl for the first time ever. Sammy Hagar's hopes of meeting the state trooper who wrote his I Can't Drive 55 speeding ticket appear to be dashed following an ex-cop's attempts to solve the mystery. The Best of All Worlds tour hits Saratoga Springs, New York tonight, close to Albany, where he was stopped one fateful night in 1984 and ticketed for driving 62 miles an hour in a 55 zone. The incident inspired the song that became one of Hagar's signature solo hits. According to a local radio station who reached out to the Association of Former New York State Troopers, speeding tickets were filed on paper back then. They said of the likely people who could have written the ticket, they are all deceased. The only official Ozzy Osbourne coloring book gets released tomorrow. The 72-page book, devoted to the legacy of Ozzy, will, quote, revisit his entire solo discography through intricate illustrations by the award-winning Fantoons animated studio. A must-have for Ozzy fans around the globe, says the publisher. Disclaimer, bats not included. And Slash has announced he's canceled 4 shows on the Serpent Tour due to, quote, unforeseen circumstances. The 4 affected shows include Cincinnati, Ohio tonight, Interlochen, Michigan, Huber Heights, Ohio, and Windsor, Ontario, Canada. The original announcement was due to unforeseen circumstances. Slash later took to Instagram to reveal that the cancellations were due to the death of his stepdaughter, Lucy Blue Knight. And that's your sit rep. For more details on all of the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 215, featuring Ben Wells from Blackstone Cherry, is available now.